edition of Flipping the Classroom. Today we are going to talk all about this literary technique that's going to help you break down any piece of literature you've ever come in contact with. This technique is called the soapstone, and when you're using the soapstone, you just take all of those letters like an acronym and you break them down. So in the soapstone you have subject, occasion, audience, purpose, speaker, and tone. And so you just take all of those things and you take a passage of literature and you fit the literature that you're reading and you put it into the passage. This is going to help you break down whatever it is you're reading, okay? So today we're going to open up our books to Room by Emma Donoghue on page 53. I'm going to read a short passage and then we're going to fit what we read into this literary tool, okay? Sound good? So go ahead and open your books with me and we'll get started. It says, in the morning, we're eating oatmeal and I see the marks. You're dirty on your neck. Ma just drinks some water and the skin moves when she swallows. Actually, that's not dirt, I don't think. I have a bit of oatmeal, but it's too hot, so I spit it back in the metal spoon. I think old Nick put those marks on her neck. I start trying to say something, but nothing comes out. Sorry I made Jeep fall down in the night. I get off my chair and Ma lets me get onto her lap. What were you trying to do? She asks. Her voice is still a little hoarse. Show him. What's that? I was. It's okay, Jack, it's okay. Just slow down. But remote got snapped, now you're all mad at me. Listen, says Mom, I couldn't care less about that stupid Jeep. I blink at her. He was my president. What I'm mad about, her voice is getting bigger and scratchier, is that you woke him up. Jeep? Old Nick. It makes me jump that she says his name out loud. You scared him? He got scared at me? He didn't know it was you, says Mom. He thought I was attacking him, dropping something super heavy onto his head. I hold my mouth and my nose and the giggles fizzle out. It's not funny. It's the opposite of funny. I see her neck again. The marks that he put on her, and I'm all done giggling. Okay, so that concludes the two sections that we read together of Room by Emma Donoghue. And in those two sections, a lot of different things happen. So that's where we're going to start with the subject, okay? So we're going to see what was the subject of what we just read. Well, the two subject characters, the main characters that we read about were Ma and Jack. Ma is Jack's mom, and Jack is a young kid, and you can tell he's young by some of the things that he says. If you didn't start the book from the very beginning, which we didn't do, you can tell that he's kind of younger because at one point, and we'll probably revert back to this a couple of times, he says, I hold my mouth and my nose and the giggles just fizzle out. That's something a younger kid would say. Someone who has some cognitive ability, but definitely not 20. So Jack's a little bit younger, and Ma is his mother. We can tell that by her name. And the subject is that Jack threw something on old Nick. We don't know who that is. He threw something on old Nick, and Ma got strangled because of it the night before. So from the subject, now what's the occasion? The occasion is the time or place that something goes on in this, okay? So in the very first line of what we read, it says, in the morning we were eating oatmeal. Now, in the morning, so we know it's morning time, and that's double affirmed because oatmeal is totally a breakfast food. So now we know the subject is Ma and Jack, and there's a situation going on. And the occasion is in the morning, okay? The occasion is also in a room. There's a couple of different details in here that shows you that. However, I think the title is the biggest indication that it's taking place in a room. So now we're going to the audience. Who's the audience of this book? Now, we can probably assume that the audience, even though it's told from Jack's perspective, and you can tell that a few different times just because back to that giggle comment he made, I hold my mouth and my nose and the giggles fizzle out, and he got scared at me, Jack said. So little things that he says, you can tell that even though it's being told from Jack's perspective, and Jack is a little bit younger, children are not the audience of this book because this book is about a kidnapper. This book is about domestic abuse. This book is about a child that got in trouble for dropping something. So even just in these little passages that we did read, you can tell that this is not child material. This is probably more of a PSA, a way for people to take on and understand a different lifestyle, a different kind of life that's not necessarily like their own. Like Ma and Jack, who are stuck in a room all by themselves all the time, and there's a guy that comes in and out. That is definitely an interesting thing, like almost a documentary type thing, but not necessarily for children, probably for mature readers, okay? So we can say that the audience is for mature readers who are looking to take a look into a different lifestyle. The purpose. Why did this section have to be in this book? Now, from what we've read, nothing super duper imperative took place. No one died, no one was introduced. I read the whole thing. No one was introduced, okay? Nothing super crazy happened, but we did delve a little bit deeper into their personal lives. We sat and we watched a conversation between a mother and a son, and we got to know intimate personal details about them. And we got to hear a story that they told us, okay? So we can see that, we got a little bit deeper in there, so maybe this was just so we can meet the characters better. We can better understand what they're going through in their lifestyle. And that is equally as important as major plot points, because without knowing the characters, you have no connection to a book. So the purpose of this section might have just been to get a deeper revelation and understanding on who these characters are. Now, as we mentioned before, the speaker is Jack, and we can tell that. I'm going to go back to that comment one last time. He says, I hold my mouth and my nose, but the giggles just fizzle out. We can definitely tell that that is a 6 or 7-year-old talking to us right there. And another time, of course, when he said, you got scared of me? Jack, that is definitely a young kid talking, not necessarily an older adult, okay? So we can tell that the speaker is a young child, even though it's not intended for young children to read. And finally, the tone. The tone in this, you wouldn't think that a conversation between a 6 or 7-year-old and their mom would be so severe and so heavy and so serious. But, I mean, even if you just look back at the subject and the plot of what's going on in this section, it's about a mom who was strangled. And it was all because of the son, so that's why it gets so heavy. And when Jack finds it funny, and the mom does not find it funny, it gets a little bit more hectic. And we'll even jump into a part where we can just really remember that a little bit better. It says, it's not funny. It's the opposite of funny, said Mom. I see her neck again and the marks that he put on her. I'm all done giggling. Right there you see Jack got the revelation. This is not funny. This is not silly. This is serious. And if he does something like this again, like dropping his toy again, he could get his mom hurt. So now we know how to use this new tool, okay? Just another tool in our belt called the soapstone, where you just take any piece of literature and put into these categories: subject, occasion, audience, purpose, speaker, and tone, and it's going to help you better understand whatever it is that you're reading. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the morning. Bye-bye.